Alpha is here. This game looks great. Reminds me a little bit about IMVU. Running in a full 140 FPS. The way that the creators envisioned, baby. Hold on, give me 1 second. This was a Kickstarter. The last game you'll ever play. What a horrible... If you put money into a Kickstarter that says the last game you'll ever play, you're a fucking idiot. You pretty much deserve to be scammed. Are you fucking serious? I can't find its Kickstarter. Can someone just tell me how much it raised? $64,000. $64,000? Let's see what people saw here that made them want to put 64K into it. I've been saying for years, Kickstarters are the dumbest things that you could put money into. They very rarely ever even come out, and when they do, they're usually not good. Wow, look at it go! I'll never need to play another game again! All my friends are here! This reminds me of one of those old Windows 95 games. There's even frame rate issues in their fucking trailer.
We want to create the world with the most freedom possible. If you see a tree and you want to cut it down, go cut it down. If you see dirt that needs digging, go dig that dirt. If you see a mountain that needs leveling, take that.
So, like every other game that comes out like in the last 5 years.
Waist high. And my fiance left me soon after.
Jesus Christ! What does this have to do with Dreamworld? What the fuck is going on?
And then Gary quit his job, and we added features every week, and we worked every waking hour. And then Dreamworld went from small white box test level to medium-sized island to a massive world where players could run around.
So this is a bunch of like
collect,
asset store
build
pieces put into a world, like
it's
every other Steam scam.
Incredible, wild ride. Excited to be
I've played so many Steam new releases. This is exactly the same thing.
This is only the beginning.
Hi, I'm Garrison.
Hi, what's up, Garrison?
I was working at Google, Facebook, and Apple, and
Wow.
I left to come work on Dreamworld. Zach has
Why?
always had this idea of a single.
Why did you quit? You didn't have to.
Game world. Dreamworld will be the largest multiplayer game ever.
Whoa, that's a
Thank you
big claim.
so much for being a part of this
Oh,
Kickstarter
I don't know about
campaign,
that.
Part of Dreamworld,
All right.
and we'll see you in Dreamworld.
I see why people put money into it. This looks good. I'm sure they get to it in the next Kickstarter video, but I bet Steve Jobs came back to life to invest in Dreamworld. Okay, now let's see what happened. Now that I'm caught up on the lore. This really has everything a gamer needs. The only problem is at some point you're going to have to go get food and take a piss, which means there's going to be time you spend away from Dreamworld. That's really the only flaw I can see. Look at this, he even has negative 214 billion shit particles. Dog shit loaves. Whatever this element is.
Many YouTubers, in fact,
I'm so sorry to do this. Is that true, Peter? There's a vid by his ex-fiancée where she watches his Kickstarter pitch and exposes how much he left out. This is nutty. Where can I find that? Why I broke off my engagement. Why am I involved with the Dreamworld scandal? What the fuck is happening?
I ended my engagement about 8 months ago. I
Yeah, I
haven't
heard.
talked about it on the internet.
It was real rough. He made a shitty game. It was bad.
I don't need the public internet validation around.
Whoa!
My story.
What the fuck? That's
I also
what it's
didn't
all
really-
about.
I didn't want to embarrass
Internet
my
points.
ex.
What do you mean?
However, to me, I'm like, what? I'm the ex in this situation. Like, why
Thank you,
am
Prime
I
Willpower.
being involved at all in any way? Why? So
You
once
breaking
I
his
started
heart led to him
into it,
scamming people,
look,
it seems.
there are
So,
many people
you know.
out there explaining. He says we were struggling to pursue our aspirations. I was doing fantastic. Thank you very much.
Classic.
You're just a talent.
I had a feeling he was lying.
I was able.
But did you ever stop to ask how he was doing?
Interesting job at this point. Was fully supporting
Come on.
myself.
He was hurting.
He was literally multiple months into already developing this before I broke up with him. He was
No.
in the midst
The
of
truth.
when I broke up with him, and me breaking up with him did not affect that.
Did it look like shit back then too?
Honestly, I had already made up my mind to at least call off the engagement before I then found out.
I'm learning so much
what
about
is
this
now
guy
seen as,
for
like,
some
the
reason.
main reason I broke up with
Okay.
him. It's not the main reason, but it majorly affirmed my position to break up. So
I want to
I'm
break up
sitting
with him
there
now, and I'm
like,
not even dating
I
him.
must Go back. Couldn't resize the ring to fit my finger because it would have entirely melted. The exact words from the jeweler were cheapest option on the market. I confronted him about the ring. I asked if he knew it was fake, and I mean, to be honest,
This
I was
seems
concerned
so
that he had been scammed
not
into buying
involved
and
with
paying
Dream World,
for a
but I'm
full-
invested
like a
now.
full-priced, and then when he called the jeweler after, I asked,
He
about
should
it,
have made the
he
ring
came to find out that the woman who
in
actually sold him
Unity
the ring
out of an
was
asset,
fired
and then
because
3D printed it.
She had actually. He also started saying things like, "Well, why do you deserve a diamond?" Or "Why do
Oh.
I have to buy you a diamond?" and things like that.
He's going full
But
Redditor.
again, it was really like California.
Well, why do you
So
deserve a good
I
MMO?
flew back to New Hampshire early.
I'm starting to see the correlation
and he
now.
proceeded to not any of that.
I'm learning
I
way
would
too much
never
about
even
this guy.
Consider going anywhere near a harder drug like coke. Like it is.
I didn't accuse
It's
him of being
hilarious,
on
though, that
drugs.
people are, but I can guarantee.
And I'll let that stay as a personal thing. I don't need to know.
Not going
So he has a history of being dishonest. So this is a newer video than this one, so I think chronologically the next chapter in the Dreamworld saga is this one.
Beyond that, a group of people have made it their mission to dig into every detail about the project and the people behind it, and it's
Oh
an
my
absolute
God.
nefarious shambles. The developers, if we
I
can call
know
them
so
that,
much
claim to be
about
backed
this
by
guy
Y
now.
Combinator, which is
So
a
much.
successful and
My fiance left me. My best friend Gary left me. My parents left me. We got so excited that I made a Discord channel and it left me.
which of course neglects to mention that he bought her a fake engagement ring to propose to her at a red carpet event and being universally panned
Whoa.
by even success
Hold on.
and being
Gary put nipples on these things? What the fuck? He had to go in here and custom add these nipples. This is just a stock asset. There are no nipples on this normally. Superstar coder Gary came in here and said, put some fucking nipples on this. My man, I really think he is a superstar coder. He probably made Google.
other players in the game are a floating sphere instead of an actual avatar. They tried to fix the absolutely terrible
I'm just
performance
shocked there's
by
other
adding
people
a
in the
kind of
game.
fog system. Essentially, a 13-year-old fresh out of his first IT class could essentially absolutely ruin this game for everybody involved by just telling the server whatever he wants to happen, and the server would say, yeah, you're right, that did happen. At this point, you
What?
couldn't even call it hacking or a hacker, because it's actually so easy that I'm pretty sure Cheat Engine could ruin the whole game out of the box. And that's
Holy
not all.
shit.
The things that so if you invite people who they don't like, they also ban you from the server for just inviting people. So the worst part
Jesus
about this
Christ.
is if you back the game, the only place to get updates on the game is on Discord. And if you even ask a question or say something that they disagree with, they just ban you outright. They don't speak to you. It doesn't have to be anything serious whatsoever. You get banned, and then you can't even follow along with the game that you paid money for.
What? Oh, and I want to read some of these. This guy actually had children running his game's Discord? Is that even, like, legal? Would that count as child labor? Unpaid labor from kids to monitor your product's Discord and manage it? That's such a weird gray area. What the fuck?
Because people thought that these children, because they're children, were just banning people for no reason. When in actual fact, it was Wolf and Gary. So not only did they recruit these kids,
Well, let's not- we
under
don't
the
know about
guise of
Gary.
giving them
We
a
don't know
job
if it was him.
eventually, which is
64K is pennies compared to some Kickstarter scams. These YouTubers are milking this for their own content. What? So just because in comparison to some of the other bigger Kickstarter scams, this is no longer an issue because it's only 64K? Disagreed entirely. It's not the biggest Kickstarter scam in history, but it's 64K that came out of people's pockets that they believed in a project that didn't exist. Just because it's not a ton of money comparatively to other projects doesn't mean it's no longer important and shouldn't be talked about. And to the second point, it is good content at that.
like 5 people behind me to all sort of like stop with me and like look around like they didn't know me. And I realized that they were running with me because they really liked the music. And they weren't.
That never happened.
Probably because they also realized that it was a safety hazard.
So obviously, as
Never
soon as
fucking
everybody
happened.
noticed, funnily enough, this isn't even the worst business that this fucking Melvin's tried to start.
Exit
Let's
Prime
take a look at
Disarray.
the absolute straight fire clothing brand that he started. March 2018, introducing Baron brand, another business to add to the pile. As you
Oh
can
my
see,
God.
some absolutely fantastic designs here. I mean, if I was 13 again and just saw my first episode of Naruto, I'd probably be super.
Well,
into
hey,
this.
Naruto,
Perhaps if
Naruto.
they sold it in like a. But this is by a full-grown man, and this is his best attempt at a business venture.
It-
he also, of course, designed
doesn't
a
look
website which is
good,
serviceable
per
by the
se.
standards of most people. But whenever I see a full-grown man making promises to cover the expenses of a 16-year-old girl moderator and promising work for them while they're making jokes about him being her dad, it's just weird. It's creepy, and even
Who
if
did
this
this?
is all that there is to it, it just makes me feel off about the situation. I have to question if this is being said like out in the open in a mod section where multiple people
Oh,
have
God,
access
not
to this that are
Gary.
not paid employees or anything like that. What's
Gary!
being joked about in private? There is now mainstream game press getting involved, journalists asking them for comment and interviews, to which they of course claim to be incapable
Yeah,
of doing so.
Caleb
if
brought
they
it up
just
to
don't
me.
have the
That's where I
time,
heard it from. He brought it up
despite having
today.
the time to sit on Discord.
He
and
doesn't even
instant
go on the
ban
internet. He doesn't have a
anyone who
fucking
asks any
computer, and he
questions
heard
they
about
deem
it.
to be too difficult to answer. Of course, they've got the time for that one.
What a fucking
To
disaster of a
tourist
game, though.
amazement, GGs work out how you can spot the scams, work out why they're trying
Oh,
to
this is just like a full all-encompassing thing. I can pretty much spot an MMORPG scam. If it's not made by a big studio, it's a fucking scam. Like 100% of the time. No 2-person team can make an MMO. Just can't fucking happen. I can't think of a single MMO off the top of my head that wasn't made by like a decently sized team ever. And functioned and wasn't dog shit.